Good evening and welcome to Movie Watch Live. Tonight, we're going to be watching an amazingly funny film, Monty Python and the Holy Grail from 1975. A lot of people have been asking for this for a while, and we've been planning this for a long time. Finally, we've managed to get both Carl and Aldous together for this movie. Aldous will be joining us a little bit later, but yes. Not much intelligent commentary tonight. Really, we're just going to have a good time, and I might get a bit merry as Carl will as well. So don't expect any intelligent conversation. Good evening, Carl.
Good evening, Sir Peter. How are you this fair eve?
I'm very well, Sir Carl, and looking forward to this very much.
Yes,
And
this shall be very silly and drunken and inane. But what the hell? Here we are, huh?
yes.
It's been a long time coming. We've been working up to this for a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, every time we're trying to plan this, somebody couldn't do it, and I wanted both of you here, so that's the important thing. So we're going to have a drinking game as well, if anybody's interested in joining in. There's 4 words that you're going to hear in the movie. First word is coconut. Second word, swallow. Third word, grail. Fourth word, me. And anytime you hear these words, you have to take a hefty swig of whatever you're drinking. I'm sorry for those who are drinking whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, Pete.
And when you hear the phrase either silly English kniggets at the start or the end of the movie, you have to finish your drink. However much you got in there, finish your drink. So that's the rules.
All glass people.
Yeah, so I'm going to remind Carl. Carl's going to remind me. And let's just say I've got a whole load of beers beside me here, which are going to be gone by the end of the evening.
Yeah, and our system will inevitably break down over time as the levels of inebriation increase. So,
yeah, exactly. So by that stage, it really won't matter.
We're on an honor system tonight, folks. We need you to be honest with us and yourselves, and not wait for us to remind you, and do that.
Yeah, you can remind us in the chat. If you want to. So go ahead and do that in case, but I can't guarantee towards the end we're going to be able to see what's in the chat. Or we might see 2 versions of it. I don't know, but there you go. And also as well, forgive us for any burp noises and groaning and being sick later on.
And of course, the inevitable boomerang and when we can't keep in sync.
Well, of course, that happens anyway, and it's probably going to happen now.
Exactly.
So without further ado, as normally, I'm watching this on Amazon. I think Carl's got it on, or Sir Carl has it on Netflix, and we're going to do a countdown, 3, 2, 1, go, and then when I say go ahead and start the movie, whichever format you've got it in. So tonight we're watching Monty Python's Holy Grail. Oh, hail Simon. Or Sir Simon, I should say. We've also got Sir Tinfoil Hat.
Sir Nicholas of the Tinfoil Hat.
So, let us start. And ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Now, do you hit on the G or the O of the go?
That's a good question.
I got it.
Now, right. Start of the movie here. We've got Monty Python Ik den Holy Grailen, which is the Swedish subtitles.
Yeah. Oh boy.
That's very brave. All
right, so here we have. Those are our pythons, right? So you're a Brit. Who's your favorite python?
Michael Palin.
Who do you think is
think about that? Michael Palin, followed by John Cleese is the one everybody thinks of, but right. Michael Palin is just so much more hilarious because he's the little guy, isn't he? So
okay, that's absolutely a valid point. I'm gonna go with Graham Chapman simply because there is no one I think ever or since that can play a stuck-up British aristocrat with such aplomb
yeah.
as Graham Chapman, number one. And number two, he's also like the forgotten Python, right? I mean, he was so integral to the group, and even on Flying Circus, all of his skits are just some of my favorite ones. But
he was a
died
straight man. He was a straight man. He was a perfect straight man as well.
Oh my God! When you have a good straight man, it makes the funny guys 10 times funnier.
Tinfoil Hat says his favorite's the English one. Well, actually, I'll split hairs there, Tinfoil, because Terry Jones is Welsh.
And Terry Gilliam's an American.
Yes. So there's only 4 others to choose from. Oh, by the way, we've missed all the Swedish subtitles now. Oh. Anyway, the people who we apologize for.
We're already boomering it up, man.
Moose bites can be pretty nasty. We apologize again for the fault in subtitles. They're responsible second to people who have just been sacked. Have been sacked.
See, the problem, the big problem I have with this movie is everyone emulates it so much in everything they've done ever since. But it kind of tarnishes the original in some way, because then
it does.
I mean, they've taken all this, which was so innovative for 1975 or whatever,
and just copied it,
comedy,
yeah,
and then just copy it off a fucking Xerox printer, and it just tarnishes the original because you've seen it in 100 different forms.
Well, Moose was trained to mix concrete and sign insurance papers by Jürgen Wigg. So there you go, without asking questions.
Jürgen Wigg is the foremost moose trainer in Sweden, as everyone knows.
Yeah. Oh, the credits have been completed in an entirely different style at great expense and at the last minute. A bit like some people's books.
Oh, that's a low blow, Sir Peter.
I'm not mentioning anybody who's done a book about big feet.
Oh, Sir Peter.
Terry Gilliam, Terry Jones.
You're about to cross the Rubicon, sir.
Sorry, Sir Carl. 76,000 battery llamas from Llama Fresh Farms Limited near Paraguay.
Now, how big a pilot were they on when they were filming this?
Yeah. 932 AD. This was all filmed, ironically, in Scotland.
And 400 or 500 years after when it was supposed to take place.
Yes. Is that a horse I hear? It sounds like a horse.
Now that right there, they actually used to do that sort of thing. That was called being broken on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
It was a form of punishment used a lot in medieval Germany. Is what they do for murderers and rapists. Mm. They tie them to a giant wagon wheel and take an iron bar and break all their limbs and then hang them like that.
Oh, so there's a few people I probably think would qualify for that today.
Indeed, there he is. There he is.
Oh, that's Terry Gilliam. Now, there's Gilliam as a squire. No horse. Son of Uther Pendragon.
Oh shit! Get your drink ready.
Yeah, I better pour an entire drink. Okay, everybody watching, you better get an entire drink ready for this.
Yep.
Patsy!
Well, technically, if he is king of the Britons, he's not English because he's the defeater of the Saxons, right?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, shit. That's 2 for...
Yep.
Pete, this was a bad idea. God damn it.
3rd. Oh, there you go.
4th. Peter. Sir Peter Mac.
Swallow as well.
All out daft in the head, straw.
Right. Oh, coconuts.
Oh, shit.
Oh, God. Swallow coconuts. Shit, I planned this wrong.
Didn't we have to do it on a swallow as well? That's 2.
Yeah. Coconut. There we go.
Dude, all I have is whiskey.
Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't realize. Well, take a sip. Take a sip. You're allowed to sip. 43 times every second, right?
Oh, there's a skunky beer under my desk. Hold on.
African swallow. There we go.
God damn it.
Here, swallow.
There's another one.
Oh my god, what is number? Oh, I'm drinking like a 7% stout here.
You better be keeping up with the chat. Oh shit.
Oh, dear God.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. Oh, how down to the dorsal guiding feathers? Yes, tinfoil. He was always portrayed as Welsh. This is the medieval version of the Rag and Bone Man.
Right.
Because he used to have these guys go around the streets. Oh, dear me.
I had
the wrong drink for that.
Hold on. Tinfoil hat. Nick brings up a really good point. In the time period that the film takes place, which they said was 937 or something like that, at the beginning of the film, that would be during the time the Saxons ruled England.
Yeah.
But when this story is supposed to take place in like the 400s, like you're talking about, that's the time of the invasions of the Anglo-Saxons. You're absolutely right. Just to clarify, those are as smart as you. And you know, this whole scene right here is kind of it's funny, but it's kind of bullshit because the Middle Ages were not that dirty. People, you couldn't live like this if this was how it actually was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's evidence people were bathing up to like at least once a week kind of stuff in the Middle Ages.
Oh, well.
But whatever.
Yes, by the way, we've just missed the bit where the woman's whacked the pussy against the wall. Cat.
Well, we can't rewind it now. We're in too deep.
We're in flow. Can't go back.
Too deep.
This bloke. I'm feeling better. I feel happy. Jeez, mate. No problem. See you next Thursday. Okay, bye. Who's that? Must be a king. Why? Because he's not covered in shit. There we go. My apologies to those who know this word for word.
Yeah, don't fuck it up, Pete. There's people that'll come after you for this. They'll dox you. They'll dox you because you got this shit wrong.
Sorry, Sakal.
No. I don't care. You're good.
Old woman. Now here we have the political activist, right?
Yeah.
I'm 37. You could say Dennis. You didn't bother paying that, did you? This is the politically aware.
Yeah, the
politics graduate.
Now, that's really my big gripe with the film, is that we have so many misconceptions about the Middle Ages because of this film and its popularity.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. Lee Jones is awesome. I love it when he plays a woman.
Yeah, help, I'm beautiful. I haven't got that bit yet, tinfoil. When the working class. Just the point is, every time Arthur has to have a conversation with someone, he just doesn't get anywhere. Yeah. whether it's an anarcho-syndicalist commune. Ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. So he's either having to talk to people who are aware of like aerodynamics, or people who are trained in politics, or Frenchmen who are expert at winding you up. So it's the fact that everybody else is more intelligent than Arthur.
Well, he ought to strike their heads from their shoulders right now for the way they're talking to him.
Well, there is somebody who does get mauled by Arthur, isn't there?
That is true. But these peasants, their heads would be on pikes right now.
There you go. Not some farcical aquatic ceremony. Supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. Moisen Bint lobbed the seminary. Come see the violence inherent in the system.
Yeah, there would be some violence inherent in the system.
That is so symptomatic of what you see all over Twitter now, isn't it?
Oh my God.
The political activists looking for the opportunity.
Mouthy peasants. It disgusts me.
Now we're now on to the Black Knight. Scene 4. Scene the 4th. The Black Knight. Any thoughts about this fight?
This is not a serious movie. I can't take it seriously. But I mean, those moves are what you would do in a real fight. I mean, it wouldn't be just lightsaber, like when people swing their lightsabers around and stuff, you'd be kicking them, you'd be hitting them with a pommel, bashing them like that. That's pretty realistic.
Are you saying there was no chivalry? And
I'm saying rule 1 is win.
Yeah, and if somebody dropped their sword, you wouldn't wait for them to pick it up again.
Well, it depends. If it was a judicial duel, which is something
that's going to smart.
Yeah.
I think I've got something in my eye.
As to your question, and he's wearing a mishmash of armor right there. The shoulder plates and stuff. You wouldn't wear that with everything else he had on.
Yeah. That's a claymore the Black Knight has, isn't it?
Looks
like it.
It looks like a large sword. I mean, it's hard to tell. There's none of the necessary markers on it of a claymore. You usually have like a quatrefoil on the end for the on the ends of the hilt or the crosspiece.
Yeah. You know what it is? Terry Gilliam, he's a very talented man, but he's an ugly fucker, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, he's just ugly.
He knows he is as well.
He is just ugly.
This is the send up here is that, so many films where you have this real expert fighter, and why do they do it? Because they're complete psychos. Somebody who just wants to fight people.
Right. I'd say that looks more like a German bastard sword or a smaller end of a German two-handed sword from the 16th century.
I'd agree with you there, Sakal. It is a bit of a bastard. I like the bit when he clangs his sword. Oh, there you go.
Oh, yep.
'Tis but a scratch. Your arm's off. Oh, my word. You liar. Come on, you pansy. Well, now he just, I don't know why. Oh, there you go. Oh. Oh, God. This movie has just become so famous. There's nobody on planet Earth that doesn't know this scene. Would you say this is the most famous scene in the whole movie?
Probably. Yeah, you see, and that's probably the most famous line in the whole movie.
I was looking before the show. I was looking for images for the movie, And you can get a Black Knight doll with detachable arms
Yeah,
and legs.
Yep. That's goofy, huh?
Yep. Nope, there you go. It's a call it a draw. You yellow bastards! I'll put your legs up. Scene 5. Scene the 5th. I got confused the other day when we watched Jabberwocky. I was convinced this was in Jabberwocky.
Oh, really?
Bang!
Yeah, the board in the forehead.
The flagellants who bang their heads with boards. But then, it's in here. So it's very similar to the scene in Jabberwocky. Generally, I think most monks must have hurt themselves in certain ways during this period of time. I don't know. I don't know if it was all monks, but every time you see them, they're always hurt themselves.
It would depend upon the monk himself, what vow he took himself, and the order that he was a part of. There were like dozens of different holy orders back in the day, so they all had different rules.
I don't know why there's a guy in there now. He's trying to experiment with the coconut.
Swallows of coconuts, but no one said it.
No, nobody has said it, so we're all right.
No one said it, but be prepared.
Yeah. There's a bloke in the crowd who's in the middle of getting shaved as well. I don't know why. What happened there?
This is just too exciting, so he's coming out to see it.
Yep. This actress here, what's her name again? She was in Fawlty Towers with John Cleese. She was married to John Cleese.
In Fawlty Towers or in real life?
In real life.
Oh. She looked good.
Very beautiful woman. What was her name again? Anybody in the chat know her name?
Fuck if I know.
Connie Booth.
We could do a watch of Fawlty Towers some night too, because we could do that in one night. There's only 12 episodes, right?
Yeah. I like the way I got better. She turned renewed. I got better. And of course, this is like a piss take of, a classroom, and the teacher's asking questions and the kids are struggling to get the answer. And this is also a piss take of logical reasoning as well, because it's like, okay, so why does a witch burn? Because they're made of wood. What floats in water? And all this kind of ridiculous logic. And it actually works as well. How crazy it is.
You got Michael Palin's wearing a just a regular old beanie they bought at Kmart.
Yeah. Well, all these were really low budget, weren't they? How will we prove she's a witch? Make a bridge out of her. Ah, but you can make bridges out of stone, can't you? Four sleds more water, bread, apples, very small rocks, gravy, mud, lead, a duck. Yeah. If she weighs same as a duck, she's made of wood. And therefore, she's a witch. And then when they get her on the scales, and it's like she weighs the same as the duck, and she goes, "It's a fair cup."
Yeah.
Gave it away there. Sorry, audience. Spoilers. Right. Second beer coming out. Third beer, actually.
I'm saving it for those instances.
I made the mistake of getting a really strong stout there.
I made the mistake of having a bottle of hard liquor.
Should I do the Cecil thing and like, bitch? I haven't got any ice to clink in my glass though. Right, there you go. This is where Arthur dubs him a knight of the round table. Bedivere. Sir Bedivere. The book of the film. The wise Sir Bedivere was the first to join King Arthur's knights. But other illustrious names are soon to follow. Sir Lancelot the Brave, Sir Galahad the Pure, and Sir Robin the not so brave as Sir Lancelot, who nearly fought the Dragon of Magno, and my favourite, who nearly stood up to the vicious Chicken of Bristol, who personally went himself to the Battle of Maiden Hill. Names for not appearing in this film. And there's a gorilla's hand there. Don't know why. And this is my most unfavorite scene in the movie, the song and dance routine in Camelot.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
It's a bit cringy. It's when Gilliam turns around and says it's only a model.
Yeah.
And there are some nice little things in the song. Or scenes. We eat jam and spam a lot. There you go. Not together. They sing from the diaphragm a lot. People actually perform this song, you know. That's the only funny bit where the bloke down in the dungeon starts clapping along.
Yeah.
That is literally the funniest bit of the whole thing. And when they step on the cat. Oh, and they impersonate Clark Gable. It's pretty life in Camelot. Push the Pramalot. Right. Thank God we're out with that. See, Michael Palin inevitably had to have the Crusader outfit.
Well, I like his shield. That's a flat-topped kite shield of the 12th century.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool.
And this is, I would assume, God.
I would assume.
Depends which one you read. I like some of them. King of the Britons.
That's some
Terry. Sorry, go ahead.
Terry Gilliam art, right?
Yeah. Tinfoil says that scene where the guy's in the dungeon, that's actually a commentary on Britain at the time, the dude in the dungeon. The quest for the Holy Grail. And the orifice of cloud is just now closed. And here we see the bottom trumpets.
Yeah.
I think this is the only animated sequence in the whole movie, isn't it?
Sure
there's I think there's two, isn't there? Yeah. Right. Squires there. And this is like Monty Python the show when they did scenes where they were just traveling across the landscape. A man randomly smacking a river with a branch.
I'll teach that river. Show him, boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, river. Aha. Now. Oh shit, get your drink ready.
Yep. I got this skunky beer still.
Okay. I literally downed a whole beer earlier, just in like a minute.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, buddy. You said this was filmed in Wales?
No,
in Scotland.
Yeah, all in Scotland.
Which castle is this?
It's
got to be famous.
It doesn't say. Cleese does this absolutely brilliantly. He's so good at doing like the crazy, eccentric Frenchman. He's already got one, you see. What? He's already got one?
All right, but here's the thing about John Cleese and his Frenchman, right?
Yeah.
All British people doing Frenchmen are just people doing Peter Sellers.
Could be. Well, Peter Sellers was the first to do loads of different accents, and he opened the way. He
paved the way for all these guys. He was the man.
And don't forget Spike Milligan as well.
Absolutely.
Spike Milligan. Oh, Spike Milligan was a genius. He was. You see, Spike did his program just before Monty Python started, and he started his TV program, and Monty Python were just about to give up because they thought, "Hang on," just before they were ready to go and do their program, this happened. So it's a bit like when you're ready to do a live stream and Mike Miller goes on. You know,
right? I mean, that's the thing about Spike Milligan, though. He was huge in Britain, right? But he wasn't that big in the United States.
No, that's true. Well, if you want
Peter Sellers was international.
Oh shit! We just forgot. Right, you heard the phrase, silly English kniggets. Drink, please. You've got to.
That's not drink. That's finish your whole.
That's finish the drink. Oh shit!
Yep. That's finish.
I'm not going to be. I fart in your general direction. I'll talk while you drink, and then you're gonna. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of elderberries. So I'm gonna have to start drinking now. So you'll have to talk while I'm drinking.
Yep. Now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh.
These in a real siege. Oh, there's tons of these guys. Yeah, Arthur has no chance in this siege whatsoever. And he launched the cow.
I can't down this.
No, you made the stupid rule, Pete. You live by your rules. Now they're bombarding them with poultry, which is the stupidest thing you'd ever do in a siege. You're throwing away your food. Even the rats. You can still eat the rats if you're besieged.
Oh God.
But they've sent them packing.
Right. I've done it.
They've done the first of many runaways in this film. To them.
I wish I didn't. Honestly, I wish I'd never said that. That was a pint. Right, another beer for me. Oh shit! I've had 3 pints in like what? 29 minutes.
Yeah, it's not good. You're gonna be worse off than I am.
Oh,
so now they're doing what seemingly would be building siege engines, but you know how that goes.
Yes, this is the.
John Cleese is wearing an open-face bassinet helm of the early 14th century, late 14th century.
It looks like an egg.
It does. It's kind of exaggerated for the form, but it's basically an open-face bassinet with an attached aventail, which is the chainmail around the neck.
You know, fancy knowledge. You and your fancy dancing knowledge.
And he's wearing an oddly shaped brigandine.
Right, Le Lapin. You've got to be careful. You've got to watch out for rabbits bearing gifts, haven't you, Sir Carl?
Right. Absolutely.
Watch out for the rabbit bearing gifts. And there's another rabbit in this movie. Generally, rabbits are evil creatures. Would you agree, Sir Carl?
Beware of Britons bearing gifts.
In the form of bunnies.
Exactly.
Le pain. Un cadeau? No, it's not a cadeau. Oh, cadeau is French for gift, isn't it? Oui, oui. Oh. Okay. And of course, the joke here is based on the fact that the English and French have hated each other for thousands of years.
Pretty much since 1066, right?
Probably even before that, I would imagine. But yeah, definitely.
That all comes back to feudal ties and who's actually who's king,
who
right?
owns the land? Yeah. We wait until nightfall. We leap out of rubber, taking the French by surprise. Not only by surprise, but totally alarmed. Who leaps out? Leap out of the. We build a large wooden badger. Where's the. And then they throw that over. Run away! Another squire's about to get it. It's the same one that was crushed by the cow.
He's not getting up from that.
Oh, shit. Here's a historian. Defeated the castle, a famous historian. Of course, this event shapes the rest of the film, doesn't it? This one event here. But this is the surrealism. The historian becomes part of history. And you think of all the different movies Terry Gilliam's done. He mixes timelines and reality and fake reality.
He's a weird fucker, isn't he?
Frank! You know, the idea that modern time mixed with his history and all the narratives get mixed up. So the historian's just been, the tale of Sir Robin.
Now, I got to tell you something. I like Sir Robin's livery more than anyone else's because it's the most detailed. He's got the...
Yeah, shall we sing the song?
Argent? Oh, yeah.
He was not afraid to die, oh brave Sir Robin. Not afraid to be killed, nasty ways. Brave Sir Robin. He was not in the least bit scared to be mashed into a pulp. Or to have his eyebrows gouged out and his elbows broken. His kneecap split, his body bent away. And his limbs all hacked and mangled. Brave Sir Robin. His head smashed in and his heart cut out. His liver removed, his bowels unplugged, his nostrils raped, and his bottom ripped off, and his penis. That's enough there. Thanks, lads. Oh, shit.
You know, the funny and ironic thing about Sir Robin is he's got the best armor out of any of them. He's got the biggest shield out of any of them. You know? So he's the one who's the most protected. He's got the most arm protection. He's got the biggest shield.
We just saw a Dennis walk past there talking about anarcho-syndicalism as well. Yeah, Mel Brooks ripped the shit out of this, didn't he, for Robin Hood Men in Tights? I'm just starting to realize now. He ripped so much out of this movie.
I mean, I'm not a super big fan of either film because of that.
Yeah.
Terry Jones, Graham Chapman, and Michael Palin.
What? You got bad breath.
I think being the head in the middle would be the worst, wouldn't it?
All right. We can first and we have tea biscuits. Yes, not the biscuits. All right, but let's go anyway. Right. Where's he gone? He's backing off. He's scarpered. Bravely run away. Now, even the song...
ugly head, he turned his tail and then he fled.
Even the song of Brave Sir Robin's famous, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, this whole movie's generated an entire fandom.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here's another animation scene. One of these monks. Hey, up! Oh! A Tale of Sir Galahad. And this is the bit where he this is the okay, this is high tea, isn't it?
He has it so rough. He has it so rough.
Yeah, this is the high tea moment. Now this is actually based on Gawain, isn't it? Because
this is based on or Percival, right?
That's it, Percival. Yeah, this is actually really the story of Percival.
A lot of the different traditions of Arthurian legend do mix up and intertwine the Galahad and Percival arcs. They do.
Yeah,
they almost have the same arcs depending upon who you read.
Yeah, so
I do love that. I do love that flat top kite shield, Pete. That's very Third Crusade right there. Very Third Crusade.
Now he's banging on the door for refuge.
Galahad and Lancelot have the most high tea scenes.
Yeah. Here we go. Now this is like, hello.
Poor Sir Galahad.
Castle of Anthrax. Yes. I'm sorry, it's not a very good name, is it? Every need. And of course, it's one of the sisters who lights a fire above it to attract passing knights.
So, I mean, how fast would you be deterred from your quest if you happened upon Castle Anthrax?
How
fast would you forget about your quest?
You're a woman, soft and very, very big. I would be extremely determined to continue to never leave this castle.
Let's all right. So let's run through the list here, right? Your every need is attended to by some beautiful woman. You have no need for money or a place to live or a roof over your head or anything like that. All your wants and cares are taken care of. And the rest of it. Yeah, who wouldn't want that?
Exactly. Well, yeah, but 8 score young blondes and brunettes, all between 16 and 19 and a half. Oh my God. Bathing, dressing, undressing, making exciting underwear. We're just not used to handsome nights. It's the fact that he fights temptation, and it's by the time he's decided, no, I can't be bothered, that he's suddenly rescued by Galahad. But he's already made the decision by that time. He doesn't want to
leave. Well, good on him for living up to his quest and all that as best he can. Better man than I.
Here we go. Here's the doctors attending to his every need.
Look at that knitted chain.
Yep. It's the little Michael Palin. It's the little touches, like the little looks that he gives and everything. Yeah. He's so good at it. You know, it's just he's so good. Hello. Tired castle.
It's bath time.
Yep. Hello. Yes. Well, you join us.
I think there'd have to be an elaborate system to work this whole thing out.
Yeah, this is where they admit that it's her sister Zoot. Naughty Zoot, Tinfoil says. Tinfoil knows more about this film than we do. Naughty Zoot, indeed. Bad and must pay the penalty. Do you think this scene should have been cut? At least ours was ours committed. Wasn't a string of pussy jokes. Get on with it. Get on with it.
The zoot is not between 16 and a half and 19.
One punishment for setting alight the Grail-shaped beacon, you must tie her down in a bed and spank her. Spanking! Spanking! And then use... Oh, and the old one spanking.
Of course, we got that.
So Tinfoil says this shows the hero's temptation, and just the point where he says, "Okay, Galahad comes to rescue." Great peril. No, he isn't. Silence, foul travelers. No, I'm fine. Wait, I can tackle them. Yes, he can tackle us. No, come on. No, I'm fine, really. There's only 150 of them. Then she turns around and says, "Shit."
Fucking Galahad. He had a good thing there.
It was too perilous.
Well, in Arthurian lore, Galahad is Lancelot's son, correct?
Here we go. So this is King Arthur, scene 24. It's not scene 24.
Oh, shit. Swallow.
Oh, bollocks.
Twice, 3.
Right.
Coconut.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. Oh, man. Come on, man.
Swallow.
Oh, Grail.
Oh, God.
Oh, right. Oh. I've finished. Like, I've got this giant bottle of Star of Prom, and it's like
I'm gonna have to have Mrs. Hungus bring me a beer. I can't do this. All I have is the cognac now.
No, don't do the cognac, please. Seriously, I don't want to do that. You'll have to get a beer. Don't do that. Oh man, there's another. We're only 40 minutes into the movie.
I just sent Mrs.
Bridge of
Hungus
Death.
a text message. Text message. Text massage.
Oh. I think the viewers will now identify we're in the woods. The woods of the night.
Scottish woods.
Who say?
Oh God. I have a Coke. I can chase the cognac with Coke.
Cognac and Coke?
I'm just chasing it.
Okay.
It's actually not bad.
I didn't realize you didn't have beers. I shouldn't have. I should have.
No, it's all right, Pete. I suffer for you.
Oh, shit. It's a call.
Yep. Stop it.
Oh, God. That was 3 gulps, that wasn't it?
That was. There it is again.
Oh, not again. Oh, shit.
There's one more. Neat. Oh.
Right. Oh. Not for every time you say, don't worry. Now, I excuse you if you don't want you dead. Please. I don't want the ambulance at your door.
No. You'll be right.
A shrubbery. Oh, bollocks.
3 times.
I'll just finish my beer. I've rather than taking a gulp for each one, I thought I'll just finish my beer. Oh man, that was a giant, like 1.5 pint bottle. That one. Mm-hmm. Oh, the tale of Sir Lancelot. This is a bit where Lancelot basically just goes and massacres an entire wedding party.
Pretty high tea. Did you see the? Did you get the notification there's a tribunal tomorrow?
What for? Oh tribunal. Yeah. That's fine. There's more animations in this movie than I realized. I forgot. Kirov. Weather. So this is the piss take of the musicals. I feel a song coming on.
Yeah.
Stop that. All that bloody nonsense here.
Mrs. Hungus is coming in with my beer. Oh, good. Yeah. I don't need the glass. I'm good.
Well, the beer is hot, so you're probably going to want the glass.
All right. Thank you.
When I came here, it was a swamp. Said it was daft to build this castle of swamp. I built it anyway. It sank into the swamp. So I built the second one. That sank into the swamp as well. I built the third one. That burned down, fell over, sank in the swamp. But the fourth one stayed up.
That's some stick to itness right there.
So this son is I'd rather just Stop that, bollocks. Do you think his son's an SJW?
Yes. His son is gender fluid.
I think his son just basically doesn't know what the concept of responsibility is.
That as well.
Oh, I shouldn't do this.
Do what?
I just took out a 7% brown Leffe Belgian beer.
Well,
2-pint bottle.
There's a lot of things we shouldn't do, Pete. The first one is make drinking games off of this film.
Yeah. Cool that out.
We have a little bit of respite until we get more of that talk.
Well, by the time Huxley gets here, we're going to be absolutely screwed. Oh, yes. Leave the room. Not leave. No, until I come and get him. You come and get him. We're not to enter the room. No. You stay in the room and make sure he doesn't leave. And you come and get him. Right. But don't do anything stop him from leaving the room. No. Leave the room. Oh shit. Oh fucking hell. Yes, tinfoil. Huge tracts of land. What beer did you get then, Sir Carl?
Oh, just some cheap shit. Some the fuck is it? I can't even read the label, bro.
It's not Guten Drac, is it?
No, it's not Guten Drac. Oh god. Go back and listen to that stream if you want to hear something.
Well, that's probably how we're going to end up tonight. All right.
Yeah.
They've got the brigandines on here, haven't they, Carl?
Yeah, but they have a mixture of weapons. They've got English bills, but they've got like leg wraps like they're fucking Vikings. And Eric Idle has a Viking sword, a Viking style sword. As does Graham Chapman.
Yeah.
Just kind of a mixture of weird genres they got going on.
And no singing. Oh yeah, now he wraps a note up on an arrow and shoots it out, and it actually kills somebody, doesn't it?
Then Lancelot mistakes him for a princess.
Is that ancient lore, isn't there, where you can shoot you can shoot a Welshman with a longbow on a
I'd heard, I don't know if this is true, you'd know better than I, that it was legal in York to shoot a Scotsman with a longbow for a long time.
And I'm actually breaking the law because all men between the ages of 16 and 60 have to practice their longbow on the village green every Sunday.
Yeah. Every village used to have what they called a butts, which was where you practice archery.
I think it was
England didn't maintain a standing army. They maintained a very, very efficient and well-trained militia.
That's how, and that's how they fought most of their wars. They just draw on this sort of like it wasn't until the Civil War that you had the new model army, which is the origin of the red coat. It's where the red coat came from. So
that was the
now this is where Galahad thinks this must be a woman.
Right.
Imprisoned in the tower, forced to marry. So he thinks he's got to rescue a princess
from Swamp Castle.
Actually, I'm not quite dead, sir. I'm feeling better. Couldn't do this movie now, like current circumstances. You would never get away with it. John Cleese is on record as saying as well that they couldn't do any Monty Python stuff these days.
He's a lefty, but he's definitely he's not an SJW. Just because
John Cleese has spoken out against political correctness.
Right. Yeah, he's spoken out against political correctness and censorship. So he may be a lefty, but he's not an SJW.
Yeah, I mean, by today's political standards, he's really more of a centrist because politics have moved so far left. You know, if you're not a Stalinist, you know that's you get burned at the stake. I don't know which castle this is. Somewhere in Scotland.
Are they playing the Sir Robin song?
Probably. Brave Sir Robin. He's pissed his pants and he ran away. Yeah. Those guards there, that armor and everything, that's just exactly like Jabberwocky, isn't it?
Yeah, and that like I said in the Jabberwocky stream, that is actually a very good depiction of a Hollywood version of 14th to 15th century infantrymen, what they would have been wearing, kind of a thing. Like 100 Years' War, you'd have been wearing something like that. A brigandine with mail underneath and just a simple pot helmet like that.
Yeah, and that's very true. And this is the standard Monty Python joke of he's really far away and within a second he's suddenly right beside them. Ah! In other words, he's running from so far away, he would never get away with it.
Right.
That's the piss take of all those movies where
these are not he's gut-shotting some of these people. That's just mean.
Well, there you go. It's like I'll bravely rescue a princess by murdering 40 people.
And no one's even no one's even put up resistance. So he just bursts in without a
word. Even there's a guy just carrying some flowers and he's stabbed from behind. Oh.
Go fair.
You got my note. Oh, you've come to rescue me.
When I was a little kid, was the first time I saw this, I was probably like 5 or 6 years old. Yeah, I know, right? Watching this when you're 5 or 6, but I thought he was actually a woman when I was a little kid.
Yeah. That's how your brain was trying to reconcile what was going on. Who's George Carlin? Tinfoil says Cleese is the British George Carlin.
George Carlin's a famous American stand-up comedian known for his very intuitive takes on society and culture.
Uh-huh.
And he was completely politically incorrect. He passed away, I think, about 5 or 10 years ago. But he was hugely influential in the late 60s, 70s, 80s, and up into the 90s and 2000s in the stand-up scene. He was one of the up there with Richard Pryor.
Right.
If you know anything.
So really important.
Richard Pryor, Red Fox, George Carlin, all those guys you want to put in the same kind of category of how influential they were. But yeah, George, he is. He absolutely is. I would probably say either John Cleese or who another famous British comedian that has stood up against censorship is Rowan Atkinson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. I mean, Rowan Atkinson's definitely a solid guy. He's, there's a lot more to him than people realize. And
yeah, exactly. That's what my comment was earlier. He's a lefty, but he's not SJW at all. He's John Cleese.
Of course, he's made a deal with John Cleese's character here. Says, "Stop murdering people." Sorry, I just get carried. Sorry, I just get carried away. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. He's killed the best man. Hold it. This is Sir Lancelot.
We're both huge Blackadder fans, Nick. And you know what we ought to do? We ought to have you on if we do a Blackadder watch. Would you be down for that, bro? Because
I think Tinfoil.
Nick's talking about we should watch Blackadder, and I'm all for that. And I'm a huge Blackadder fan. So is Pete. So is Aldous, for that matter. So I think that'd be awesome if we did that and had Nick on sometime.
I was just gonna say, Blackadder, you twist and turn like a twisty turny thing.
That was my cunning plan.
Yes. Bride's even got blood coming out of her mouth. Oh.
That's a reoccurring theme, is people are not quite dead.
Not quite dead and actually getting better.
And they seem to be improving.
There's her old father who seemed about to recover, suddenly felt the icy hand of death upon him. So he can take his land.
Yep. Slits his throat.
Oh. Oh God. And the brave but dangerous Lancelot. Look, it's a dead prince. He's come back. I feel much better. Oh, here we go. Song coming on. Because in the 70s, there was loads of musical movies, wasn't there? Like Oliver and everything. So really,
the golden age of musicals was really like the 50s, but they still had a lot of them in the late 60s, early 70s. I think Oliver was 1968. What was that? Oliver Reed that as well?
Yeah.
You had who was that?
Jesus Christ Superstar was in the 70s and all that stuff.
Petula Clark, Oliver Reed.
Yeah. So there were in the period. So here's Arthur. It's a nice solid name. It's better than Archie. Can you believe the Royals just named their baby Archie? Archie. Old Crown.
Next time I see an old lady, I'm just gonna. Next time I go to the DMV and there's some old heifer behind the thing, I'm gonna go up and say, "Old Crown, process my paperwork."
Yes. Old Crown. Have I bought any shrubs for my shrubbery? Check my grocery bill.
There's knee. You get your drink ready.
Oh shit. Oh
no. Another one.
Oh.
There's another
This
one.
is a 7%, bro.
Another one. Another one. Oh god, 3 in a row. 6. That's 6 drinks. 7.
Oh, not again.
Oh, it's 8.
I'm clenching my fists here.
Aldous! Where are you? I'm sipping at this point. I can't down it.
Oh. Well, I've just drank half of a 2-pint bottle of 7%. Oh shit!
Another knee.
Oh bollocks!
There's a knee.
Oh man!
There's a knee.
That's right, don't we? We don't have to drink for a necky.
Knee.
Oh, come on. Oh, shit. Oh. Shit.
This was your idea. Remember this. This was your idea. Yeah, we probably will. Die.
Come on. Man up. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Man up. Oh.
Purge the soy from your veins and replace it with beer.
Come on. There we go. Come on.
Yeah, buddy, we're manning up.
Let's do it.
I just got my second wind. There's another knee.
Oh, shit.
Nope.
Right, that's that down. Oh.
It's got to dust off the labia and man up.
Yeah. I like the way Sir Robin's livery is obviously a chicken.
I also like the way his livery is detailed. With the no, it is. It's nice detailed. I was trying to say it earlier. It's a chicken, but he's got the nice checkerboard pattern on it.
Yes.
Cool. And in heraldry, if that was a rooster, the rooster is actually a pretty badass animal in heraldry, in mythology.
Yeah, the French use that symbol a lot, don't they? The cock.
The rooster. The Portuguese
cock.
use it a lot. The Portuguese, I think it's like the national symbol of Portugal.
So the Portuguese are a bunch of cocks.
They're some badass dudes.
Badass cocks. Yeah. Oh, season 2. We haven't even got to season 24 yet.
Well, we'll get there. I do like the little art right there. Very. I
like the multi-eyed monster.
And
we have a
bio tapestry.
Oh. And there was much rejoicing.
I want to see their adventures in Nador. That's the only thing that bummed me out about this movie,
Yeah. Well, there's plenty. You could. I'm sure Disney, if they bought the rights to this, would make a whole fucking series over it.
Could you imagine hold the rights?
Disney's Holy Grail, the adventures of Arthur and his knights going through the lands of Nador.
Can you imagine what Disney would do with the Monty Python stuff?
Yeah. They were just fascinated.
Oh my god.
Basically, Disney would I don't know. What is it you do to units?
First of all, they recast Arthur.
They would castrate it like they've done with everything else.
No, Arthur would be a teenage girl.
No, Arthur would be a teenage furry.
Tim the Enchanter.
Yes.
Who plays
some people know me as Tim. And there's a lot of people who like to cosplay Tim.
Mm-hmm.
You can buy Tim costumes. I am an enchanter.
Oh, that's Terry. Tim, right?
Tim. It's John Cleese.
Is that John Cleese? Oh yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, because I see it. I see it. That's one of the things I like to do is try and figure out who's playing what.
They must have spent a fortune on these effects, like the explosions and the flamethrowing.
Well, what they saved on the costumes, they spent on the effects.
Yeah, spent on Tim. It's a terrible. It's a rocket launching stuff.
Sir Robin looks like he's about to shit himself.
Aldous has decided not to show. Aldous is a no-show. It's a call. It's a call.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes, Sir Peter.
Aldous is a no-show.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, shit happens, buddy. Shit happens.
Now we're gonna see the bunny soon. It's bunny scene. We know that bunnies are particularly nasty little bastards.
Oh, bastards. Especially bunnies with gloves. No, not a Grail. Bunnies with gloves.
Oh. I can help you find this thing. Caerbanog.
That has kind of a Welsh sound to it, doesn't it? Caerbanog.
Everything cool has a Welsh sound to it. Holy Grail. I think they're right as well. The comments on Twitter were Steve Dye said, flesh wounds are sure to ensue tonight on Pete McTube's Monty Python and Holy Grail movie watch. And indeed, flesh wounds of the liver.
Flesh wounds of the liver.
Yes. Who said that? Somebody said that on Twitter. Huge, sharp, pointy teeth, says Tinfoil Hat. What an eccentric performance. I love this scene where they're walking out with the nose of the skull. It's great. Pointy, sharp, pointy teeth. Yes. Yes, Tinfoil. The Holy Hand Grenade. That's coming soon.
That's probably my favorite chant.
Oh, shit.
Dismounting of the horses in unison.
Mm-hmm. The Cave of Caerbanog. There he is.
The infamous.
It is the rabbit. You silly sod.
This might actually be the most famous scene in the film.
You tit.
You shit. We should do that on Twitter. Just start calling people tits.
It's a killer. Get stuffed. You manky Scots git.
What does manky mean?
Dirty. Don't take care of yourself.
Got it.
Mangy.
Got it.
Like a tramp, a hobo.
Got it.
I warned you. I warned you. Oh no, you knew it all, didn't you? Just a harmless little bunny, isn't it? He loses half of his nights in one go. Oh. You gotta be you gotta be careful of bunnies, haven't you, Sir Carl?
Suppose so.
Yeah,
be careful of bunnies because they may appear cute and fluffy.
Inside they're ravenous
when given the chance.
Oh, yes. Oh yeah, he can't say the number 2, can he? He can't count to 3. Arthur. Well,
You gotta think about it.
The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Oh yes, Brother Maynard.
Brother Maynard.
And there's a whole scripture on how to use the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch. Count not 2, but the number 3.
Antioch, of course, referring to the very important port city in the Levant.
Yes. So dumb, Right.
They're dressed as Dominican friars, which is interesting.
That was the Armaments chapter 2 verses 9.
The Book of Armaments is my favorite of the Apocrypha. Saint Attila. The Book of Armaments is definitely my favorite of the Apocrypha. Yeah.
And anchovies and orangutans. Breakfast cereals and fruit bats. Skip that bit. First thou shalt take out the holy pin. 3, no more, no less. 3 shall be the count thou count. Shall be 3. Shalt not count 4, neither count thou 2. Except that thou then proceed to 3. 5 is right out. This being the 3rd number to be reached. Being naughty in my sight, shall snap it.
Good night, buddy.
And as the police. Oh yeah, they enter the cave, and then when they come out the other end, they're at the bridge of doom, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
We're getting close to the end of the movie, folks.
I still got it in me. How you doing, Pete?
I'm still okay. I'm pouring the rest of my 7% Belgian beer.
As we're getting some swallow talk coming up.
Oh. To everybody listening, sorry that we're not speaking constantly through the stream, both me and Carl are a bit under the influence now.
Yeah, that's right. They're talking about speaking Aramaic. I don't know what Aramaic looks like, so the last words of Joseph of Arimathea, who supposedly, what was it he did? Oh, he went to Pontius Pilate the day after Christ was crucified and asked to bury him properly, or the day that Christ was crucified. And then he has all kinds of weird Grail lore intertwined with that, like he grabbed the Holy Grail from Jerusalem and brought it with him to Britain, where he settled. So he's intertwined in the Grail lore, but he was actually a real dude.
Yes, he was. The castle. Arg! St. Args in Cornwall. No, that's St. Ives. What?
In surprise, over his home.
Oh, man. There you go. There's a Terry Gilliam monster with loads of eyes.
Yep. Bet they wish they still had the holy hand grenade.
Yeah. Oh, there's quite a lot of animation in this movie, isn't there?
Yeah, there is quite a bit. The horrendous black beast lunged forward, escape for Arthur and his knights seemed hopeless, when suddenly the animator suffered a fatal heart attack.
Oh, brilliant. There's the coppers on the trail. And here's the bridge keeper. The bridge of death. That's the old man from scene 24. What's your favorite color? Green, no blue. Ah! Gorge of eternal peril.
Doesn't sound like much fun.
Yeah, it's a bit like reading a particular comic book by a particular writer without being more specific. You know who I mean, Carl.
One we read off stream last night.
Yes,
indeed. Absolutely.
Yes,
it's that painful.
like the eternal fire.
Yeah, exactly.
With cross the bridge of death. What is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color? Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Sir Robin. Sir Robin.
Yeah.
Where does he sleep? I don't see a house or anything. It's got to be a rough life being a hermit guarding a bridge no one ever wants to go across because you die if you fuck up. The stuffed dummy thrown down into the gorge. I love it.
Favorite color? Blue. No, green. Oh!
Here we go.
Britons. Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't drink on Grail.
Oh, well then, yeah, 5 of them do.
Maiden swallow.
Yeah, swallow.
An African or a European swallow.
Swallow.
I don't know. Ah!
Swallow.
Shit. Here we go.
Mm.
There we go. Oh, why did I get so many strong beers? I would not cross that bridge. Look at the state of that.
Yeah, that's not OSHA approved.
Are you old enough to remember intermissions in movies?
Yes, they really out in the 70s and 80s, but I remember there were still a couple movies with intermissions when I was a kid.
Have you seen the scene in Monty Python where the woman comes around selling the snacks in the intermission? Albatross!
Yeah.
Tinfoil says yes. He remembers that. Tinfoil's seen a lot of British comedy, hasn't he? I like the way the police car, the registration plate on the police car just says police. Lancelot's been arrested already.
Yes.
And the Grail is calling them across the swampy moor. It's fitting that we're watching this, Carl, because our first movie watch, which was banned because of copyright, was Excalibur.
That's right. Oh, the circle is complete.
Yes, circle
now
is complete.
I am the master.
Only a master of evil, Sir Carl. Hang on,
Well
I've even got a
played,
lightsaber. Hang on.
Well played, Pete. Well played.
There's the ship,
like the quasi Viking ship made out of moss or whatever that is.
Sticks and
bits of paper mache
and snot.
and snot.
What was that line from? Oh, what's that movie with Lake Holiday or something? They go to like a. Oh, I can't remember now. It's oh, fucking hell! What's his name? He's in Ghostbusters.
That's a famous castle in Scotland.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
I've seen that 100 times.
Yeah, it's in the middle of a lake. I'll get that information for you. But in this movie, it's called Castle Arg.
Mm.
There it is.
I'd want to live there.
Castle Stalker, north of Oban, Scotland.
Mm.
So it's there's loads of footage of that. It's a famous castle in the middle of a lake. Niggets, right, there you go. Drink.
There we go. The whole thing.
Bollocks.
Yeah, this is the whole drink.
Oh, please.
Nope, these are your rules. You saw it coming. We could have done something about this. There's no point in.
Oh, man. Here we go.
Look at that. Look at that. That's a real castle that's built with real battlements and everything. Nice narrow staircase leading up to the main door going in.
Proper height. What do you call them? The gaps that you hide behind?
The crenellations. Yeah. It's called a crenellation. Yeah, it's awesome. This is a beautiful castle. I love that. It's great.
And electric junkie bottom biters. English bedwetting people.
I burst pimples at you.
You tend to bring weapons of their buttons. Oh, nice. That is chucking the shit on them. Right, sells it, you bastards. I'll fire arrows into your heads and make castanets out of your testicles. Legitimate fist.
You legitimate faced bugger. Now the irony of this is they're actually holding English bills. That's a very English weapon. That's like the iconic melee weapon, the English foot soldier, right there. That weapon hacked apart Scottish kings and French knights at Agincourt.
Yeah.
That is a very English weapon. So it's ironic that French guys have it. Sorry, what were you saying?
Tinfoil hat says you must be away. Thank you, Tinfoil.
Tinfoil, take care, brother.
And from nowhere, an entire army appears. Now, Carl, you must be impressed by this.
That's a lot of
people that got in here to reenact.
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
It is.
I think they must have used the sealed knot. The sealed knot is like the major reenactment society in Britain.
Yeah, sealed knot's been around since what, the 60s?
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys are using basically 17th century pike formation stuff.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, they're sealed knot guys, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they're sealed knot because most of the sealed knot is 16th century, 17th century.
Yeah, it's English Civil War.
Yeah.
I know a bunch of guys that go back to Britain to reenact the sealed knot.
What do you call those helmets they're wearing? They're like the pot helmets, where they've got like the rim that comes out.
They kind of look like the World War I, World War II British helmets. Yeah, it's called a pot helmet, or the French name is a chapelle de feu, which is the iron hat, basically. But it's basically, you call it an iron hat, a pot helmet, chapelle de feu, whatever you want to call it. It's super ubiquitous and was used for hundreds of years.
You know, it's a comedy movie. This charge here is absolutely epic. This charge here is better than Highlander. It's better than a lot of movies. This is a fucking brilliant charge scene here. This is what it's like in battle. Sometimes you just do it. You just fucking run. Oh, there's the toppers.
That's the thing. Sometimes you do just run, but if you're an organized army, you don't.
There we go. Right, get him in quick. Come on, get a blanket on him. Clear off. Put this man in the van. There you go.
Now, the first time I saw this film and I saw this scene, I was super pissed because it subverted my expectations as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see the goddamn battle. I wanted to see them take the castle.
That's an offensive weapon, that is, Sonny. Get up.
Oh, God. Could you imagine these guys doing this in Britain today?
Well, this says it all about modern Britain.
With swords and all that. Oh, my God. It'd be the scandal of it. It'd bring down a government. It'd bring down a government.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And the Wurlitzer organ to play us out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you had a good time. I'm slightly inebriated now, so I don't really know what's going on. But I vaguely remember doing some sort of YouTube video, watching a movie with Carl. I can't really focus on much more than that. Other than to say thank you for everybody who came along and watched with us. Although probably went to watch Mike Miller again.
Oh, no one's watching Mike Miller. There's 137 people watching Mike Miller.
And
no one's watching Mike Miller.
You know what, Sakal? I had one of the best times ever on this stream.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, buddy. It was a lot of fun.
Just get drinking and watching a good movie. And so I'm going to say good night to everybody. And if you want to watch this recorded, we'll leave it up. And thank you to everybody who stopped by. Good night.